notifications are going crazy. It's so annoying. It beeps every single email I get for some reason. I have to change the settings. So if you're hearing it beeping all the time, it's just every email I've had in the past 2 days. It's doing that for. Or knees rather, flat bending them. Before we move down to the mat, we'll just do 2 more upper body. So first one's the neck, so just pull down very gently on the side and just let it stretch out. It just stretches out your trap. If you want, you can have your hand down your side, or if you want, you can pull it backwards away and it gives it a bit more of a stretch. And then same on the other side. Good. And then we're going to do arm screws. So arm screws are just reaching all the way, turning your arm over, then back, and then coming back in. So push all the way, so you're pushing your shoulder out away from you, all the way to the side. So I'll do it in front of Bob so you can see. Turn it over, and then bring it back. Okay, so just do 10 on each side, nice and gentle. There's no force behind it. Just getting your body used to the idea when it gets to the end of its range, you turn it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stop over, same for the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Last one I'm going to do is just figure eights with the arm. So chop down, get back up to the other shoulder, chop down, and then come back to your cheek again. So it's 1 and then back. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And again, if you're using a stick, that would be the slash slash. If you were using a knife, it would be cut cut. The other hand goes in because obviously if you hit someone, you don't want them then having the option to come forward. So you're going to hit it and then you put that there so they can't come forward, so you can do it again. Okay, same on the other side. So use the right arm, now the left arm. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. These just help. I mean, predominantly it's a warm up. All you're doing is you're getting your shoulder nice and loose, but also it's a warm up because you could equally do it like this and just do that. But the problem is, this is training a range of movement that's not particularly helpful. It's nice to be able to keep it nice and tight so you can stab, hit with a stick, or hammer across. So we're just doing the same thing within a much tighter range of movement. So we're going to go down to the mat. So mats out if you got them, if not pillows or whatever else you normally use. Get yourself nice and warm. Stretch out. Yeah. My trusty stopwatch out. This was really helpful last time. So, not going to go too crazy with the warm up today. We're just going to do the basics and then get on with it. So, about 45 degrees, about 90 degrees. Just going to push our hip forward, put our weight into it so it's just here, and then you can lean back a little bit. With or without the arms is fine. Okay, just going to go for 30 seconds. This was running since yesterday. Starting now. Halfway. If you want to get a little bit of exercise, clench your glutes at the same time. Helps your stability. And generally it's a good exercise. Last 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Gonna go in a little bit deeper. So nice and deep with this back lunge now. This one's still 90 degrees. And again, try not to lean forward into it too much. Try and keep yourself more or less upright. Okay, 30 seconds. That's a terrifying view. The camera position is very unfortunate. Halfway. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ease yourself out of it. Yeah, I swap legs first. So I was going to move into the other one from there, but I might as well swap legs. Go on the other side. So again, nice and easy to start with. Just leaning yourself into it. 30 seconds starts now. Again, try and keep your body upright. If you want that extra little bit, just lean over a bit. It should feel quite comfortable here, so you shouldn't really be feeling too much of a stretch here at this point, which is good because it means that we've got to a point where our hip flexors aren't too bad. So if it feels like, oh, why are we still doing this? There are harder ones to do, but I just want to make sure everyone gets there where it's nice and easy before we go on to anything harder. So just realised my whole head's cut off and my legs. I'll do it better. So deeper stretch now. Nice and deep. Push yourself. Should be really feeling it here a little bit more. And 30 seconds from now. Again, keep yourself up. Clench your glute. Clench your other glute. Helps with stability. Helps build the support muscle. So when you are fighting or punching or kneeing, especially if you've got one leg off the ground, the glutes had some practice at holding your body weight in awkward positions. Last 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Cool. Coming out of that. We go straight to 90-90. I tend to always do 90-90 if we're doing it because, again, it's a weird position to be in, so you're not going to get it in your normal life. And it's really good for knees, especially getting your knees up. So just good to work that hip mobility. So 30 seconds. Just lean into it. Nice and easy at first. We're going to do 3 stabs at this. So nice and easy, a little bit harder, and then fall. Just lean in. Especially if you've been sitting around today or sitting in an office. You don't want to try and leap into these exercises. Last 10 seconds. Just start shifting yourself forward now, getting ready for the second sprint. So you want 5 seconds now where we're pushing hard into the floor with our front leg. And as we're pushing hard into the floor with our front leg, it should help you bring your chest in towards your leg a little bit more and lower yourself down. Okay, so second 30 seconds starts now. So here you should be feeling it. It shouldn't be painful, but it should be feeling a good stretch. If you can, maybe put your arm down in front just to show that you are for yourself moving forward. It's a good measuring stick if you struggle to get your elbow on the floor in front of you, and then over time it's easier, and it just shows that you've progressed. Last 5 seconds. So again, we want you to press hard into the floor for 5 seconds, and that should allow you to come forward even more. Okay, last 30 seconds now. Deep as you can get without obviously causing yourself any pain. Discomfort's not unusual, but no actual pain. So discomfort is just obviously you're stretching further than you're used to, and therefore it's not comfortable, but it should ease off. So if it's getting worse, so if you're uncomfortable and it gets worse and worse over the 30 seconds, maybe think about taking it back a step. If you get very uncomfortable, but it kind of eases a little bit over the 30 seconds, that's good, because it means that you are effectively improving your ability to be in that position. Okay, swap legs. Actually, no, sorry, before we swap legs, just come up. I'm going to lean back again. So the normal we do, I'm going to lean back over this way. You can reach over if you want. Put your leg up near your butt. So this leg, try and touch your butt with the heel. There's going to be a good quad stretch. And this heel, put it on your quad so it doesn't follow you when you go back. Okay, just lean backwards. I'm just going to do 30 seconds in that position from now. And again, if it's too easy, lean over. If it's still too easy, lean back further. As long as you keep control, guys, okay? So make sure when you're leaning back, you don't feel like you're going to end up falling back. Halfway. Last 5 seconds. Oh. Okay, swap legs. Want to go with the left. So same thing, we're going to go 3 times. First one's nice and easy, just ease yourself in. Second one, going to give it a little bit more. Third one, let's see how far we can go. So 30 seconds from now, just ease yourself into it, get your body used to that position. Last 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. So now when you do 5 seconds, pushing your leg into the floor, and as you're pushing your leg into the floor, it should let you creep your chest closer to the legs. Okay, now 30 seconds. Nice deep stretch, not painful, but certainly shouldn't be really comfortable. You should be testing yourself at this point. Halfway in. Make sure you're testing yourself. Last 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now really push into the floor hard, guys. And as you're doing that, push your chest closer to you. Okay, closer to the knee. I'm going to go for the last 30 seconds. Nice deep stretch, as deep as you can get. You can get your elbow to the ground in front of you, even better, because it's just a good way to measure progress. The elbow to the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cool. So we're going to do 5 cat cobras. Is it cat cobra or cow cobras? I never remember. In any case, child pose cobra. That's the one. Just a nice way to release the lower back. So start off in child pose. So ease yourself back into child pose. Then we go into cobra. Okay. So 1 into cobra. Make sure you're stretching those hip flexors. Nice straight arms. Back into child pose. Push your butt towards your heel. Leave your arms in front. 2. Cobra again. Nice straight arms. Get a good arm exercise into here as well. Back into child pose again. Number 3, into cobra. Back into child's pose. 4, cobra. Back into child's pose. And the last one, cobra. Child pose. Good. Cool. So it's going to stretch our hamstrings. I tend to either do the hamstrings first or last because they're the most unpleasant. So depending on the day, it's either the first thing we do or the last thing we do. But either way, we've got to do it. So rather than kneeling hamstring stretch, which is what we normally do, we're just going to do the seated hamstring stretch. Very similar, but obviously butts on the floor rather than kneeling forward. So we're not going to kill it. We're just going to go 2 sets of 30. First set, moderate, just reaching. Second set, see whether you can challenge yourself a bit, but we're not going to do the first set of super hard. I don't always find that super hard stretching on the hamstrings very productive. So, guess what? We'll go 45 seconds actually, just give it a bit more time. So 45 seconds, ease yourself into a nice stretch. Point your toes towards you if you can. Just a nice stretch of those hamstrings. Don't have to be grabbing toes or whatever, just try and have your toes pointing towards you. Legs should be straight. Push your body towards it and relax into it. Last 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so press into the floor with your hamstring. So if you need to put your arm behind you to help you, press hard into the floor with your hamstring. And now ease yourself forward a bit more. And let's see how far you can stretch it. Okay, so really test yourself for this one. It's only 45 seconds. Let's see how far you can stretch forward. This is the last set on that leg anyway. Halfway. Last 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, cool. So, same the other leg. So, like I said, we're only going to do 2. Nice, easy one, and slightly harder. So, get yourself in a position. Again, don't push it any harder than you feel comfortable. You just want a nice stretch to start off with. 45 seconds from now. Just try and keep that front leg straight if you can. That's the most important thing in this. Don't worry about how far down you get. Try and keep that front leg straight and try and get your toes pointed towards you if you can. Last 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. So press hard into the floor as if you are axe kicking the floor. Try and make sure that the pressure is going from your hamstring rather than through your knee. And now try and set yourself forward into a deeper stretch the last 45 seconds. Halfway. Last 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to do one that we don't do very often, which is the butterfly stretch. So, legs in. If you haven't wedged or something, it actually helps you push forward, but doesn't matter too much either way. Feet in towards you. Open out your hips. Externally rotate your knees. So some people do this stuff. That's fine. It's not really a stretch. It's just, easing the muscles. If you want to stretch, then you have static or you have active. Okay, so we're going to do both. So we're going to start off for 30 seconds, or actually 10 seconds because it's an active exercise. 10 seconds, we're going to push our knees down without using our hands as far as it will go. Okay, so just 10 seconds, you're going to push your knees down with only the muscles in your legs, as far as you can go. And then we're going to support them for 10 seconds with our hands, okay? So 10 seconds, 1, push it down, actively push into it, and push your feet down as much as you can. So your knees are as close to the mat as you can get them. For 10 seconds, good. And now for 10 seconds, we're going to push down with our hands, okay? So 10 seconds, we're going to take our elbows and push in. We should get them a little bit lower. And then we're going to try and hold them where they are without any pressure from our elbows for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're going to push down with our elbows even more so you can get them a bit lower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we're going to ease the pressure off, but try and keep them going down even further with just the muscles from our legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then a final push with our elbows. Try and get them as close to the floor as you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Cool. Then you can relax off. So basically, it's a mix of active and passive stretching. The active stretch is so that you can actually physically do this without your arms. Passive stretching is just to release the muscle slightly. So combination of two is the best way to stretch. Doing a bit of both. Unfortunately, of course, it's quite a lot easier just to sit there in a passive stretch for ages and not doing too much, but it's not as effective. Okay, so the last one we're going to do. If your hips are a bit sore after that, just sit in this position for a second and just turn your body. Just gives it a little bit of a rest. So sit in that position, just turn your body away for a second. Pulsing slightly, just gives it a bit of a stretch out. And then swap round into the alternate position and do the same thing. After the butterfly stretch, you can get a bit sore if you're doing it actively. Cool. So on your knees, just going to sit back on your heels for a second. All that is just to help stretch out the knee capsule. If you find it easy, then you just do it straight onto your heels. If not, get a pillow or something and put it in between to just give it a little bit of cushioning. Just do that for 10 seconds. It just stretches out this knee capsule here. Some people find it very difficult to sit on their knees, especially after an operation or a knee injury, because the scar tissue builds up and it blocks the joint off a bit. So you just have to recondition yourself. Not very comfortable, but what can you do? Oh, cool. Thank you. So I'm going to do some static stuff now. So like I said, we're not going to kill ourselves on the warm-up today. Just going to do some static holds. And then we can get on with some techniques. So I'm just going to do our knee to chest, and then we're going to do our kick, okay, our side kick. So what should we do for knee to chest? Let's say 30 seconds, and then we'll do 30 seconds without holding. Okay, so you're going to kick your knee up, hold it in place for 30 seconds. It's actually quite hard to look at anything when you're doing it. I'll try and keep us on time. That's it, high as you can. Make sure that glute is clenched on the other side that's supporting your weight. Last 5 seconds. Pick it up. And then we're going to do the same again on this side. The only difference is once we've pushed it up and into place, we're just going to go ahead and leave it there without any support. So, against the wall, kick it up into place, and keep it there without any support. So this is on. Amazingly, every time I look at it, I lose my balance. So it's easier just to do it without looking at anything. Halfway, but for your sake, I will persevere. Last 10 seconds. Go. Okay, super easy. Same on the other side. So we're going to kick it up here. All of this conditioning stuff actually for good balance and good hip flexors. So it's hard at first because it's movements you don't normally do. Once you've done them a few times, it becomes a bit commonplace and it's easier. But with the time, it'll always become harder. So if we've done a minute, it'll be really hard. If we've done 30 seconds, it's somewhere in between. So you can always make it harder for yourself. If you're super good at this and you're just there all day doing that, just do it for longer. Or wear an ankle weight. It's the other thing you can put on 1 kg ankle weight and all of a sudden you find it much harder. Becomes easy again, 2 kg ankle weight. Super simple. So 30 seconds supported first from now. Oh, Jesus. Well, it's really easy when you look directly ahead. As soon as you look at something, your balance goes. Last 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Get a bit of shape before we find this. We'll do the last bit. And again. I prefer to watch because it beeps. Right. Ready? Get it up there. Leave it without anything. I'll start from now. Cool. That's that one. Then we're going to do the kicks. Right, same old. We're going to kick out, hold it for 30 seconds, and we're going to do it without the hold for 30 seconds. Okay? So we get into the position, and 30 seconds starting now. Hold it in nice and tight, point your knee towards the target. Ankle should be slightly lower than your knee. Get it as high as you can. Okay. Come out with a kick. And then come down. Okay, I'm going to go straight back in on that side, this side without the hand. So you can use the hand to get up if you want. In 30 seconds. Okay, from now. Last 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and again, come out with a kick. Your hips a bit of a shake from side to side. Then we'll go and do the same on the other side. Right, get ready for your right leg. So we're going to hold it first. "30 seconds. Last 5 seconds. Come out with a kick. Give your hips a bit of a shake. We're going to do it last time now. Again, without the hand. Yeah. So get yourself ready to be in the position. Again, you can use your hand to get yourself in, and you can just kick it up, whatever you want. Ready, go. Last 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come out with a kick. And bring it down. Oh, dear me. Right. Self a little wiggle from side to side. We're going to add on 30 seconds of horse riding stance. Something's happened to Dean's eyebrow. I can just see an eyebrow on the side. There you are. Your eyebrow is frozen in place just there, right at the corner of your screen. So we're going to do 2 sets of 30 seconds on the horse riding. So it's a really good exercise now. We started it to get your stability sorted out. Let me just move my mat around so I'm not sliding all over it. So, get yourself into a nice flat parallel stance. And we're going to go down 30 seconds from now. Remember, with the horse riding stance, super wide. Can't bend forward too much. Have your legs nice and wide and your head up, looking forward. Halfway. Last 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back out, but not too far because we're going to go straight back into it in a minute. And stretch yourself forward a little bit, give the back a little bit of a stretch out. Right, ready? Get myself back on the mat. Cool. So, last 30 seconds from now. Low as you can, guys, without leaning forward too much. Last 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and just push yourself back out. Oh, God. Such a good exercise for your hip stability when you're doing it. It's basically a staple of pretty much every traditional martial art I've ever seen, actually, but kind of get lost a little bit when you're looking at kickboxing and boxing, etc., because it's just one of those exercises that Westerners don't like so much. Grab a quick drink. We're going to do some dynamic stretches just for a couple of minutes, and then we're going to go and get on with some technique. What's in the chat? Oh, hello. And I read that, yeah. Cool. So just our normal dynamic kicks. So we're going to do the one where we're coming out to the side, and then we're going to do the ones where we're holding our hand up and we're kicking up towards our arm. Just those. Nothing too spectacular. So find something that you can rest on, get your balance. We're going to do our side kicks out to the side as normal, just 10 on each leg, as you can get them. Okay, so go from there. Try and get your heel a bit higher than your toes. High as you can go. Remember, the higher you can do this exercise, the higher you can kick. Go. Okay. The same at the front. So left leg to right hand. Just going to kick up, hit the palm with the shin. Okay, just 10 on each leg in your own time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Same on the other leg. Right, grab a drink, and then we're going on to some technique. So let's see what we should pull off here. We'll start basic and then we'll work our way out. What should we start with? Yeah, just do this one. Cool. So let's start with the basic white belt brace and attack. So two timings for this. Okay, so this is basically on the white belt syllabus. Someone goes to hit you, bracing, like covering up, and attacking. Okay, so there's two. There's bracing and then attacking, and there is bracing and attacking at the same time. Okay, so we're just going to practice those two. Super simple, kind of the basis of all of our blocking. Okay, so just do 5 of each of those, or we'll do 5 with me. You guys do 5, and we'll do 5 with the second one. Okay, so the first one's nice and simple, but there's a way to do it. Okay, so when I'm doing it, I don't just want to stand right in front of the guy and go like this. It's very easy for him to hit me a million times. So first and foremost, if I'm here and he's going to hit me, I want to get my head back away from him as I'm doing it. Okay, so I don't want to just stand here and do this. What I would be trying to do is here, I put my weight on my back foot, wound up on my back hand to throw my shot, but this has to come towards him. Okay, so what I don't want you to do is this. because of course he's going to punch me right through that big hole. Okay, so what I want to do is here. So this comes out from my side. Okay, from my side towards the opponent. My head sinks back, and I follow it up by just punching. Okay, sink back and away, come back through, back and away, come back through. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Nice, easy one to start with. We'll do 5 together, and then you guys can do 5. I'll see where we're getting to with it. So, hands up, of course, because we're not just standing there like a plum. Whether we're in our fighting stance, or if we're in our fence stance, like leave me alone, we're in one of them. So we'll start with fence, why not? Here. So, we're going to move our head back and cover. And then we're going to come forward and throw this. Again, as we throw this hand then comes to our forward cover position. Okay? So, number 1, lock, cover, and here, and then back. Okay, so we end up back where we start. This is in front of us and this is back. Okay? Number 2, from our fence, cover, hit, cover. Okay. Number 3, from our fighting maybe, cover, hit, cover. Number 4, cover up, hit, cover up. And number 5, cover, hit, cover. Okay? We're going to get you to bang out 5. It's the simplest thing we do, okay? But there are some nuances. Obviously, your posture is not towards them. So when you're doing it, you're not going to stay here and do this because he's going to hit you. You're going to come away. So what am I doing? All of our blocks are predicated on having done a slip at the same time, okay? So none of our blocks are just here. All of our blocks, whatever block it is, whether it's here or here, none of them are just standing and doing it. They're all, I've slipped and I'm blocking, okay? So this one is, I've given him the lean back, but rather than seeing whether he can get over my shoulder, I'd much prefer to put something in the way. I'm looking down the sight of my own elbow so I can see his face. And as I come forward, I hit him and I put that elbow back in, okay? So I'm not here. I'm always leaning my weights on my back foot. Why is that good? Well, it's good because I've moved my head away, but also when I push up my front foot, my back foot rather, and then my weight's here and I'm pushing it forward. If I stay over here, I haven't really got anywhere to go. Okay, so that's the first nuance. The second nuance, make sure your elbow is pointed towards your opponent. As soon as I do this, as you can see, I'm not blocking you, I'm blocking some imaginary person over there and you punch him in the face. Second nuance. Third nuance, most importantly, when your elbow is pointing at him, your elbow is pointing at him. You're not doing this. Okay, if you're doing that, he's still going to punch you. If your elbow is pointing at him, you can see the elbow. Eyebrow level, head's tucked in, elbow's pointing. So when he throws anything towards my face, it's elbow first. If I do this, it's not going to work. Okay, so get that elbow pointed. So let's give it a go. 5 of those. Your head's tucked in, so when your elbow's pointed, it's going sort of slightly downwards. It's not down here, but it's not up here either. Okay, so it's on eyebrow level, pointed slightly downwards. Okay, so number 1, block the shot, hit, get back, good. Okay, number 2, block the shot, hit, get back, good. Your elbow's a little bit high, Dean, so your elbow's pointing upwards. It just needs to point towards the target. So imagine if you wanted to hit the target in the nose with your elbow, you wouldn't want to put it above and then come down. You would just want it here. So imagine if what you're literally, the move is to put it here and then walk forward and put it on their nose. That's, yeah, that's the height. Okay, number 3. Good, much better. Yeah, good height. Number 4. Up, up. Same for you, Des. So yours is way too low. Okay, what you're doing is you're doing here. So you see my nose is uncovered and my elbow is pointed towards the floor. then you're hitting, and then you're doing that. But again, what we want is my elbow is pointed towards his face, I hit him, and then my elbow is pointed towards his face again. 2 reasons for this. 1, if he walked forward or tried to grab me, he'd be walking his face onto the elbow. But 2, much more likely, if he throws a punch, if he's taller than you or even the same height, punches tend to travel downwards. They don't really tend to travel upwards unless it's an uppercut. Okay, so unless you're fighting someone really short and they're punching upwards, that elbow is not pointed towards where the fist is going. Okay, the fist is going to hit here, which means it's going to hit the nice soft bit, bruise you up, make that arm weaker over time. Okay, I want it to hit the hard bit. I want it to hit here. And the reason I get it to hit here is he wants to punch me in the nose. I put my elbow where my nose is. Okay, if I put my elbow under my chin, he's not aiming there. Okay, so high, not super high. So again, so not up here. So it's pointing towards the heavens. Not down here, so it's pointed towards the floor. Here, right in the middle. Okay, so it's pointed straight out from your nose. Okay, so just have 2 more of those. So higher for you, Des, lower for you, Dean, and Malika somewhere in the middle, because you seem to be doing both. Okay, so 1. Good. Nice. Yeah, much better, Des, yeah. So you're pointing at them. Imagine every block is a hit. So imagine their face, for some reason, has come too close to you. You've hit them in the face with that. You've hit them, and you've hit them in the face with that. So every block is aimed at your target. Okay, 1 more. Up. Good, excellent. Not too bad at all. Okay, so that's the simplest one. Obviously, that is they go to hit me, I block. I go to hit them, they probably block, let's be honest. And then they go to hit me, and I block. So super simple sequence. If it was boxing, it would be 1, 2, 3. Okay, so not a hard sequence. Okay, next one is same time. Okay, so there's 2 ways to do same time. One we don't really use so much is to block and hit, and one which we do use quite a lot, which is to block and hit with the other arm. Okay, the reason we don't use this one is if I'm out here and he throws his cross, for example, and I block and hit here. We used to do this in bushing quite a lot, but then we found that often then we'd get hit with the other hand. So people usually do 1, 2 or 1, 2. So what we found is sometimes we'd hit them back like here, block their cross, hit them in the nose, and then catch the left hook. It's not the end of the world, but it's not my favorite. But we are going to practice it because sometimes it does come in handy if you're constantly finding when you're trying to block and hit, you're here and you're too far away. And obviously you are going to have to do something longer. Okay, so we're going to do this one first. So what are we blocking? We're blocking it straight, coming towards our nose. Okay, so we don't want to do this because I'm still getting hit in the face. So what am I going to do? I'm going to block the middle. Okay, because my head is coming forward towards you, and this is the target, and this is block their target. Okay, and then the other hand goes here. Okay, so we're just going to do that 5 times. You do it 5 times, we move on. So we're here in our fighting stance. He throws the cross. Rather than backing away all the time, we're going to walk straight forward, take the cross on our elbow, and then our own cross comes out right in the middle. Okay, it's quite a square stance. We're not doing what we normally do, which is to swap our right arm in front, or else it doesn't work. So we're quite square, and we're just coming forward. Okay, just like this. So, number 1, step forward, punch, withdraw. Okay. Number 2, forward and punch, withdraw. As you withdraw, this arm stays up for anything else they might throw at you. 3, forward, withdraw, 4, forward, withdraw, and 5, forward, withdraw. Okay, nice, super simple sequence. The super simple ones are the ones you're more likely to do. Okay, so if someone starts throwing stuff at you and you decide you want to hit at the same time, you're much more likely to do that than slips and stuff, because mentally, again, I want to cover my head or I want to hit him at the same time. Yeah, it's quite simple to think of. When you start thinking of slips, what will happen is you'll do, I want to move my head away and I want to hit him, but you're not going to be anywhere near him. Okay, so it's much better to just get into the habit of, oh, you know what, come forward and hit at the same time and cover my head. Okay, 5 for you guys, and then we're going to move it on. So 1, cover up and hit. Good. You want the elbow pointed towards them. 2. Good. 3. Good. Remember that elbow's got to be pointed towards them there. So if you have it pointed towards them, but then when you hit, you drop it down. So you're doing this. But again, the problem is by the time their arm reaches you, they're hitting you here. If you go like that on your arm, this part of your arm doesn't like it. Yeah. It's not going to break it or anything, but it is going to bruise it up and it's going to make it harder for you to throw your jab quickly. So you're not going to be able to snap your jab. If you keep getting hit here, it's going to start getting dead and you're going to be a bit like your arm's going to curl in a bit. Okay. So, because don't forget, these muscles are what pull your arm back. So if you keep getting hit here, it's like your calf. If you look, it's really thin, lots of tiny muscles. Okay. So what you want to do is this stays high while you're hitting. So look, this is still where their punch is going. As soon as you do this, then you're giving them this to hit. Okay. So 2 more. Keep that nice and high. It's just straight. There's no ducking in it. So 1, boom, and 2. Good. No, not too bad. Cool. So again, we don't do this very often, but it does come in handy sometimes as sparring when you just have to go in and try and hit them. Okay. So the one we do all the time, of course, is cover up and hit at the same time. Okay. This is literally someone's walked up to me, blah, 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 bang. So I haven't got time to do anything clever. I haven't got time to try and duck under. We're in it. We're like, all the normal talking rubbish, chest out, blah, all of this. All of a sudden, he's just decided to swing for me. I've only got maybe half a second to react. My reaction should be here. So I step in towards him and I throw my own elbow towards his face and I throw this up. Okay. Why do we want this up? Because if you look, it covers everything all the way around the back of my neck. Often hooks thrown in anger are not these precise on the button hooks that you see in boxing. They're actually behind your head. But the problem is if you get a big guy who swings his arm behind your head and smashes you on the back of the neck, you're still going out. Okay. Just as bad. This will put you on the ground, yeah, but that will put you on the ground as well. Okay. So you need to cover all the way to the back. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. If you get hit here and it still goes all the way around, it's still going to hurt. You know, it's a hand. Okay. You're covering it up with maybe 4, let's say 2.5, 3 centimeters of flesh and bone. Okay. It's still going to bloody hurt, but it hopefully won't knock you out. Okay. If you get hit anyway here, obviously you won't get knocked out. No, you won't get knocked out. Really good if you get hit here. If you do get hit all the way around the back here, you can imagine if you cover your head up and go like that, you still get that horrible feeling, okay? But it's better than getting hit directly on the brainstem. So that's what we're going to do. And obviously what we're doing at the same time, we are stepping forward and we're hitting them diagonally upwards with this elbow, okay? So without the block, we would just be stepping in and giving them the diagonal elbow, which we've practiced before, elbow across their chin. But because we haven't got time to do 2 things, block and then hit, we're going to do both at the same time. Okay, we're going to do 5 together, then you guys do 5 without me. Remember, the important part of this is the block. Okay, so if you're going to screw anything up in it, then screw up the hit and do maybe here, but make sure this is tight. Okay, what you don't want to do is get a lovely hit and then your hand comes up here and you're just like as if you're tweaking your earbud. Okay, so this all the way behind, tight, very little space, and flexed, okay? Not loose because you're still going to get smashed. You're tense for impact, okay? And the rest of it is just putting that up at the same time. Okay, so number 1 together, nice and slow. You're going to come in, shoulders up, and you're going to hit. And you're going to block, okay? Shoulders up, okay, not down. Your shoulders down, big space. Shoulders up, covered. And also like a bull, if a bull's about to hit another ball, they don't do it with their neck hanging out like this for it to break. They cover up. This tucks everything that you're worried about hurting behind your traps and makes you stable. Okay, this, not. So, number 2, we're coming in, as we're coming in, we're shelling up here. Nice and tight, nice and hard on this side. Okay? Number 3. So remember when you're doing it, guys, the temptation, this is what I did for most of my green belt, actually, until I realized why it was wrong. I did this. So I put the left arm here and left this behind, okay? It's not bad, but it's not as good, okay? The reason it's not bad is because I've still got everything covered and I'm trying to hit him with this left arm. The problem is I'm giving him a lot more of the back of my neck. So I'm telling him, hit me between here and here, which is the worst place, even with this block, that I want to get hit, because this is the smallest thing to defend myself with. So I'm hitting him, yeah, but I'm also getting smashed here. What I want to do is I want to go here, and I want to encourage him to hit me from here to my elbow, which is the fattest part, with a nice pillow on my chin, so I get a nice pillow. It's like having a helmet on. This is a bike helmet. This is a motorcycle helmet, okay? Big fat lump of meat that's between me and my chin, the thickest part of the bone, okay? Not this scrawny little chicken wing, okay? So I move my head in, okay? So I move it towards the punch, which also takes some of the power off, and I hit with my right arm. So the right arm ends up in front, okay? So not doing this, doing that, okay? More power in your right arm, as always, and safer. Okay, so that's what we're trying to do. So let's start from 1. I'm going to do that. 1, left arm in front, moving in and across, right arm in front, and this is here for us to catch. Okay? Number 2. Push. Number 3. And remember, I'm going here and I'm here. Why do the shoulders go before the arm? They're closer, okay? If I do this and then that, if I do this and then shrug up, by the time I shrugged up, it's all over. I've already been here, okay? You start with the closest to the vulnerable thing and you cover it with everything closest, second closest, third closest, fourth closest, okay? So you go closest, second closest, third closest, fourth closest. So everything goes from the shoulders down, okay? The reason for that is if you're slow and he's quick, at least you've got this to get hit in. If you do that and you're slow, he's punching you while your hands are here and your shoulders aren't protecting you. So you protect your shoulders first and everything else comes afterwards, which shouldn't make any difference because it's still here. It's still within this period. It's just if I'm slow, he hits me here rather than here. Whereas if I do it the other way, he punches me and I never get my hand to my chin. Okay, so you start from the shoulders and everything else goes from there. So you're like hook and at the same time. Okay, so last 2. I'm harping on about it because actually out of all of this stuff, the blocks are more important than the punches. Okay, you can get away with knocking someone out with a shit punch, but you're not going to get away with a shit block because a shit block is when they knock you out. Okay, so the blocking 100%, punching 70%. Okay, focus wise. So number 3, blocking here. And I'm going to step myself in like a little bull. But instead of hitting them with my head, I'm going to put this in instead. Okay? 4. Remember, I'm not standing up tall. My head's down because I'm like a goat. I want to go. I want to hit. Okay? I want to hit low. I want to do this because this hand's going to come up underneath my elbow and punch me straight in the face. Okay? I want to go down at shoulder length here. So this is on my shoulder level, and when he throws it straight or he throws it to the side, I'm here. I don't want to be up here, where if I do that, it goes underneath my armpit and hits me in the chin, okay? So I want to lower my level. Remember what we were doing in the last lesson? We were doing our level holds. Well, I'm still going to do that. I'm going to lower my level, and I'm going to burst in, okay? So last one. Lower the level, shoulders up, in, and you're here. Okay, so last one all together. 1. Good. And you end up, rather than legs straight, you end up here. So you're in a lowered posture where you've been pushing off that back foot, okay? Heels off the ground and you're here. The reason you're in that is because it's a much more powerful, stable posture than if I'm standing upright, okay? So we're gonna get 5 from you. When you're doing this, there's a massive difference between just doing it in the air and imagining someone's punching you in the face, okay? So doing it in the air is, and that's tool development, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. Being punched in the face is, oh, fuck. But practicing it, it's just drudgery, isn't it? No interest, no focus, just meh. But getting good at it is, oh, what? Oh, look, dude, leave me the fuck. Then you start connecting it mentally with, I've got to do this quickly. So it's my flinch now, rather than it just being, well, when I'm in class, I do this. Okay, I'm not saying that you guys are doing it wrong. I'm just saying, try and start connecting it mentally with, what would I do in this situation? So it's the what if. What if some big hairy bastard walked up to me tomorrow, started talking to me at the bus stop? I'm like, dude, leave me alone, COVID, you know, fucking social distancing. He's like, fuck, did you say to me? Bang. Connect it to that thought, you know. What if someone just decided to give you a right hand in the face for no reason, with no build up, okay? He's sworn at you twice, and the next thing you know, he's trying to smash your face in. That's what you're doing, okay? So give me 5 of those. Fast, reacting to that, okay? So in your own time, I'll call it, and in your own time, imagine this guy just smashing you in the face for no reason, okay? So 1. Good. 2. 3. 4. And full force now, because not only are you going to take his shot, but you're going to try and bash his teeth in with your elbow. Okay, so now you're actively trying to smash him while you're doing it. 5. Good. Cool. So, and that's the point, isn't it? So, do I do it and do nothing else? Of course not. Of course you don't do it and do nothing else. So on the white belt syllabus, obviously, we only go as far as that because we want to blow their minds. But the reality is, obviously, if I'm here, I don't then stop and walk away, obviously. Plethora of things you can do. We'll practice 3 super easy options from it, okay? Because again, more complicated, less likely, okay? And what's the advantage of, as I was saying before, apart from the defensive style, what is the advantage of putting my left arm back like this when I do it? Well, now my left arm's ready to play, okay? If I do it straight, so if I do this, then my right arm's not back chambered, and my left arm isn't back chambered. So actually I'm here, but I can't really do a hard strike now. All I can do is bum, 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 like sort of, because both arms are forward. Okay, so that's the other reason I don't want you guys to do this, because then both arms are forward and you've got nothing, okay? I want the turn here, because now my left arm is back, which means I can then propel this forward in a variety of different ways with some force, okay? I'm going to do the simplest one, the second simplest one, and the third simplest one, okay? Simplest one, fairly obviously, is it goes to hit me and I'm here. Even if I completely miss his face, I've got this hand and I've got this elbow, okay? I haven't really got this fist and too close. So the most simple one, I come here, I just unwind back of the hand and the elbow. Super simple. So I come in, I unwind, I let this go. So this could be a full-on backhand. If you're trying to be martial artsy about it, it could be a backhand elbow. But for me, let the fingers loose, let him slap an eye before I hit him with that, okay? Because I'm not really worried. If this has missed him, maybe that hits his eye, great, and it gets followed up into your sort of orbital cavity by my elbow, Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Nice, super simple. They tried to hit me. I've come across, I've whipped that across his eyes, and I follow it with a nice hard elbow. Best thing about this as well, what position am I in? I'm in my fence as soon as I straighten that arm up. Okay, full sequence, come in, whip, hit, fence, and then I have the option to come back straight in with a shot. Okay, that's where we're going to go. So, hit, whip, here. And obviously we're not going to do it like that. This is so you can see it. I'm going to whip it across my face, let it come out, and this is going to come across. I'm going to finish here in my fence. Okay, nice, simple-ish, simple-ish. I mean, everything's simple when you do it enough, but simple-ish. Okay, so we're going to do 5 together slow. We'll do some 5 slow ones, then you guys can do it quick. Okay, so first, same thing here, step in and hit. This time we're unwinding, we're doing the elbow, and we're coming out. Fingers out. Might even poke him in the eye on this side as well, because then we can come in and hit him if we need. Okay? Number 2, shoulders, hands, whip, hit, out, and we're back here to start again. Okay? 3, pop, push, out. 4, block, hit, out. And you can, this can come out straight, or you can again whip it out so you get another eye strike in there. Why not? Okay, 4, push, whip, and we're back. And 5, push, whip elbow, whip, and we're back. Okay, whip elbow, whip the eye again, and then we're back in if we need. Okay, 3, 4 hits. Some of them won't hit him, some of them will. You just want something to hit him. Okay, the likelihood of all of them hitting them depends where you are. The likelihood of some of them hitting them, very high. Okay, because if he's close, so if he's too far away to get hit with the first bit here, then he'll get hit with that. He might not get hit with this, but then he'll get hit with that. So out of that entire combination, I've got him eye strike, which isn't too bad. If he's close, he'll get hit with that. I won't really get much out of this one because it's too close. That's fine, he'll get the other elbow, and then I will increase the distance with my hand before putting in the last one. So you should get at least 2, 3 hits out of it. Okay? So let's get you guys to do it. Do 1 slow one, and then I want the other 4 again. Same. And then when I say quick, I mean as if you're being hit. Oh fuck. Bang, bang, bang. Shit. Bang. Push. Bang. Like you're doing it. It doesn't have to be pretty. It's like bang. It has to be snappy. Okay? As opposed to just doing it fast. Yeah, but flaccid, not really defending, flaccid, okay? It's hard, whip him, hit him. Okay, so bit of venom. So, number 1, slow. Next 4, see if you're doing it. So, 1, slowly. Get it right first. Good. Now, I want to see number 2. Let's see if you're doing it. 2. Lock it, hit him, good. 3. Good. So you're not worried what it looks like, you're worried what it feels like. If you feel yourself doing this, no. You feel yourself doing, fine. Yeah? That's what it is. Here. You got to bring it to them, okay? Number 3. Good. And you'll feel it. If your hand's whipping out as hard as you can whip it and it's coming back, yes. If it's coming here, no. If this, you can feel your shoulder popping forward, bang, and landing as hard as you can with your body behind it, yes. If it's just coming forward quickly, no. Okay, 4. Good. Nice. And 5. Good. One more from you, Des. Good. Better. Nice. Okay. Grab a quick drink. We're going to go on to the next one. Why am I focused on these? These are what I would do. Yeah. A lot of the stuff we do is great for the sparring and stuff, but what would I do if someone tried to smash me for no reason, randomly? I'd do this, or some variation of this with elbows, headbutts, and knees, okay? The next one we're going to do is more grabby, okay? So, next one we're going to do, similar concept. Why do we keep doing it on the right-hand side? 97% of people are right-handed. Most people are going to swing for you as hard as they can with their first shot, okay? It's quite rare outside of boxers for people to do bang, bang in an actual fight. This is sparring. Buck, bang. That's sparring, okay? Actual fight, imagine this is my right hand. It's more like, what? Fuck you, did it. Bang. And this is it. Whole body goes over. You can hear it. Of course, that's going to put you on the ground. He doesn't have to be good. He's just a big, hairy bastard who, bang. That's obviously going to knock you down, okay? It's hard. It's wild, but that's enough, okay? You're worried about that first, and then what do you do afterwards, okay? So your first priority is survive the shot and everything else, okay? So next one, so we just did 1, 2, 3, 4. Slightly less complicated. 1, 2. And then we're going to come back, okay? It's less complicated because there's less hits. Okay, so, and mentally it's less complicated because what has he done? He's swung for me. I've come in towards him, and then before he can back off to get another swing, I'm going to just grab him behind the neck, pull him back into my territory, and hit him again. Okay, so mentally less taxing than thinking to myself, backhand hit here. Okay, less taxing. Here, I'm tucked in on him at the moment. Now, if I hit him, he's going to want to peek his head away from my elbow. So he's going to go backwards. So I grab him and then I smash him. If I don't hit him, you can imagine if my elbow is here in front of your nose, where do you not want your nose to be? Near my elbow. So you're going to pull your head back, grab him behind the neck, pull him into your territory and come back. So whatever he does, so if I hit him, he's going to pull that head back in pain. I grab him, I hit him. If I miss him, he's going to want to get that head out of the way. I grab him, I hit him. Very little thought required, okay? All you need to remember is from here, this doesn't come out straight, you swing it. Remember what I was saying to you, Des, before about the hidden hook? So when I'm trying to grab someone around the neck, I don't do that because they're going to see it. I go behind their head and grab them from the back, okay? So if I reach out to you, you're going to move your head back. If I swing it behind you, you're like, hi, you missed me. And then I grab you from the back, okay? That's what we're doing. Here, grab him from behind the head. Look how deep I am. I'm so deep, my finger's on his other ear, okay? Pull him in towards my own shoulder and smash him, okay? That's what we're going to do. So, number 2 is pop, swing it behind him. Now, if he's super big, maybe you don't pull him towards you, you just pull on him, you let yourself step towards him and smash him. If you're about the same height, grab him, step back and pull him towards you, and then walk forward and smash him, okay? If you can pull him towards you, it has the advantage of making his head go down, so you can smash him across the top of the head and then get a knee in. If you have to go towards him, you're just going to have to jump in high and smash him. Not much you could do, especially if he's a big bugger. So if you're here and he's here, I wouldn't try and move his way, I'd move to him, okay? So, number 1, again, nice and slow, shoulders, always this first, okay? I'm going to hook this down behind him. I'm going to assume we're the same weight, so I'm going to pull him towards me. And as he's coming towards me, I'm then going to come back in and put that elbow right on him, okay? Next one, I'm going to assume that I am the smaller man, and he's up here somewhere, and he's looking heavy. So I'm going to crash into his chest. I'm going to reach up and grab him. I'm going to step in and hit him. Okay, so I'm going to let this pull me into the shot. Okay, so he's nice and big. Here, I'm going to let this pull me into the shot. Okay, and I'm going to have this across my face at the end. Rather than trying to hit him out here, I'm going to go all the way in. I'm going to put my head against his forehead almost, and this slides in hit underneath. Okay, the reason for that is because he's bigger than me, and if I'm here, he's got the option to hit me at the same time. Okay, if I put my head against his chin while I'm smashing him, I'm up here and he can't hit me. Okay, so number 3, again, we're going to do the little man. So here, we crash into his chest, we reach upwards to get him, we're going to crash our body into him, and our elbow comes across to hit his chin, and our head goes as close to his nose as we can get. Okay? Next, same size, so now we're going to get him to come towards us. Here, 3, boom, pull him in, step back, then step in and finish. Okay? 4, same as that again. So, we've gone to hit him, we've grabbed him behind the neck, we're pulling him down, and then we're going to go and hit him. Maybe his head's gone down a bit, so I'm going to go downwards this time and smash downwards towards the back of his neck. I'm going to do that last one again. Pulls him down, he's come in, his head's gone down a bit, great. Now I can smash the back of his neck as much as I want. Okay? So, number 5, come in, we've blocked it, we've grabbed him, we've pulled him down, and we're going to smash the back of his neck. Bang, I'm going to come back out. Okay? Especially if he's wearing this, even better, because when you reach behind, you don't need to grab the neck. You grab here, you pull his head down, and then you've got all of that to play with. Okay? So if he's wearing a hoodie, great, or any kind of jacket, it's London, it's cold. Quite often people are wearing some baggy crap. You can grab him behind the lapel, pull him forward with your bar of the arm across the back of his neck, and then smash him. Okay? Nice and simple. So I'm going to get you guys to practice all 5 of those, or all 2 of those rather. So you're coming in and you're coming out. What I'm going to get you to do is 5 of each, and at the end of the one where you're pulling them backwards, so you've done it, you've grabbed them and you pulled them here. After you've hit the back of his head, I want you to grab on him, so it can be his clothing or it can be him. I want you to finish with a knee. Okay? Here, grab him, smash the side of his head, get 2 hands on him, put the knee in. Okay? Because if he's going down, you might as well help. Okay? Nice and simple. So 5, where you have to pull yourself into him and just come flying in. And as you come flying in, you cover up. 5, where you pull him towards you, you smash him, grab a hold, and put the knee back in. Okay? Because if he's falling forward like this, keep letting him fall forward and intercept. Okay? So 5 of each. Start off with the one where you're smaller, because that's always the more dangerous, obviously. And 1. Lock, grab. Yeah, that's it. Jump straight into him and hit. Good. 2. Lock, grab. Good. And guys, remember with the grab, we're not just putting our hands forward and hoping. We are swinging our hand behind them all the way around the back of their neck, grabbing anything we can grab, and then pulling, okay? So it's a hooking, pulling motion. That's what gets them in. If we just do this, then you've only got this tiny muscle here pulling you towards. But if you do this, you've got all of the weight of your arm and your shoulder thrown this way, clubbing them across the side of their head, grabbing onto anything you can grab onto, and then you're unfurling again. So you're pulling back the other way, which gives you all of your lats behind the movement. So if they are strong, hopefully you get something out of it. Okay? So number 3. Good. Number 4. Good. And number 5. Good. What's the reality of this situation, guys? Do you do this combo? Yeah, kind of, but do you hit them and then just assume everything's fine and you guys are cool now? Of course you don't. You grab them, you hit them, and you hit them again, and again, and again. And if they start getting their head far away, you swap to hammers. Hammer, 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 elbow, hammer, until they are neutralized, okay? Or they just don't seem to want to fight anymore, okay? The last thing you do is you hit someone and you let them go to see what the situation is now. Situation is now you've pissed them off, okay? You've just hit them in the face, okay? It's not going to be like, I respect you now, okay? I don't want to fight anymore. That's some sort of, you know, manga bullshit. Yes, I respect the quality of your swordsmanship. No, it's fuck you, mate. You've just cut my head open. I'm going to stab you and kill you and do whatever other horrible things. I mean, myself and a friend of mine actually got threatened to be stabbed in a cinema by someone who didn't even have a knife. So, you know, which was quite ironic. But I mean, the whole point is once you piss someone off enough, they'll say anything and do anything. So you're not going to leave it down to their tender mercies. Okay, so at the end of this one, obviously you've got the advantage. You've got them by here. You've got their head down in the position. So you're pulling on that. You're going to smash, smash, smash. And if it's getting away from you a bit, you swap to hammers. Okay, hammers across the back of the head and neck until they stop. Okay, simple. Realistically as well, if you can, you would drag them to the floor, which is quite simple because after their head goes down from the hammers, you just grab everything and just step back and pull. Remember, we did this in class when we're doing the combatives. Pull them, throw them on the floor, and then you've got feet to deal with as well. So it's even easier. Okay, so now the next one. So that's the big guy. And especially like we're saying, this is for a big guy, okay? So if they're bigger than you, they're probably not going to be hurt as much by that elbow as it would be if they were smaller than you, okay? So if I hit someone who's my size, it's going to hurt them quite a lot. If I hit someone who's Jimmy's size, it's not going to hurt them as much, okay? Because they're just bigger, okay? So the next one, but you've grabbed, you're going to use this curl to pull them towards you, and then you're going to come back with big elbow. And again, what do you do? Obviously, you continue until the job's done, okay? But the important thing with this one is because you think you can move their weight, you pull them in, okay? So that you get them a little bit more unstable. Okay, so give that one a go, 5 of those. Good. Yes, or the knee at the end as well. Sorry, I've forgotten about that, but yeah, you can put the knee at the end as well. Okay, number 2. Grab. Remember the elbow first to Malika. Why the elbow, guys? Just as a general point, why the elbow? Well, every time I've done like clinch sparring with people, the first thing that happens when you grab someone across the neck is they start putting their hands down towards your knee, okay? So often this happens. They do that, or they block off your knees, or they're pushing on your hips. Because, you know, anyone who's done even a day's martial arts knows if I'm pulling your head down, it's knee time, okay? But you soften that up by, as you grab them, as soon as their hands are going down to protect their face from the knee, you smash them in the temple a few times with your elbow, then their hands will come straight back up to their head, which opens up this lovely big gap for me to knee them, okay? So hit them where they're not guarding. I mean, it's super simple, isn't it? But people don't. I've literally seen people, in a position where they're literally doing this, where he's got me here, and I'm doing that, and he's still trying to knee me. I'm doing it, and I'm pushing on his legs, and he's still trying to knee me. And he's got this arm here, where he could be punching the living hell out of me, but as soon as I got him in my tie clinch, I get fixated, don't I? Like, knee time, yeah. Oh, look at my knees. And I get fixated. And especially if I'm fighting, I don't think. I'm not like coherent. I'm not like, oh, he's blocked that one. He's blocked that one. Hold on. Stop blocking. Stop blocking. Okay, that one. I stop thinking and I just caveman. New. And that's what tends to happen. So don't be a caveman. Think. If I'm hitting him in the head, so if I do this and his arm's up blocking, so he's doing this, knee him. Bring him to the side. Knee him again. Now he's dropped his hands down. Now throw the elbow. Okay? So be coherent, be aware of what you're doing, because that is the difference between actually winning the fight, especially if the guy's strong, and wasting your energy. Okay, so 2 more. Now you can mix it up. So once you've caught them, you can drag them forward, knee them, then elbow them, or you can drag them forward, elbow them, then knee them, or any combination. Okay, 1. Good, perfect. That elbow knee is really good, Malika. Here, elbow, knee on the same side. Their hands come up to block the elbow, they get the knee. Perfect, yeah? Number 2. Perfect, really good, Des. And I like it because it's not elbow, knee, it's elbow, knee, yeah? So you pull them in, you hit him, and you hit him. Perfect, because it doesn't give them time to think. They're like, huh, 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 and they're just blocking. They don't have time to be like, I've blocked here. Oh, what about the knee? Let me block. You've already smashed them. Okay, 3 more. Number 3. Hit. Good, perfect. Yeah, and then what do? Continue until it's all over. Yeah. Number 4. Grab, hit, pull, pop, pop, and then it's all over. Yeah. Good. And number 5. Good. Perfect. Excellent. Cool. So simple. From the white belt syllabus, what are we doing? We're doing block and hit. Okay. Here is all the other stuff that happens after block and hit, but you can see it all springs from the white belt syllabus, which is I want to not get hit in the face, and wouldn't it be nice if I could hit someone at the same time? That's all it is. All we've done is we've added on all of these situational awareness points. We've added on, well, what if they do this? What if he's further away? Well, what if he's not done? What if he's tall? What if he's small? What if he's short? What if he's heavy? There are a million variables, but if you get caught up with too many of the variables, then you don't do anything. You get, they call it paralysis for analysis. You look at the guy and you're like, I wonder whether he does boxing or Wing Chun, and you don't hit him. That particular moment when you're thinking that should be punching him in the face to find out how he blocks. But instead of that, you're like, well, he looks like his legs are big. He might be a kickboxer. And then he kicks you. Okay. So you just have to be aware of certain fundamentals. Okay. Is the guy a foot taller than you? You're probably not going to end up being able to kick him in the head, then, are you? Okay. Is he a foot shorter than you? He's quite close to your knee. If you wanted to knee him, maybe give that a go. I mean, it's simple stuff like that. Are his arms that long? Well, you probably don't want to stay outside to try and fight him with jabs, do you? Because he's going to be hitting you from across the parking lot. Okay. If he's tiny and bulky and he's got muscles out here, but his arms are that short like a T-Rex, you might not want to wrestle with him. Maybe you just want to poke him from the outside and kick him from the outside and keep him out there. Okay. Super simple stuff like that. It doesn't, what martial art does he do? Who gives a shit? He probably doesn't do any of them. Okay. What's important is be situationally aware. Okay. Is the guy standing there like this? Yeah. He's like, come on, mate. Come on, mate. Well, unless he's playing with himself, there's probably something you're not very pleased about in that pocket that you don't want to know about. Extricate yourself from the situation if you can. And if you can't, and he's definitely going to do something, go full out, try and hit him as hard as you can, as often as you can, and try and stay over here. Okay. So you're not going to try and jump over this side and grab his arm because he'll stab you. You're going to try and punch him in the face as many times as you can, moving to his other side. Okay. And what I mean by that is if you have Bob, for example, and Bob's right-handed, the left hand, right hand, Bob's right-handed, he's been playing around in his pocket the whole time he's been sitting there swearing at me. All of a sudden, he comes towards me. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to try and stay here. If he tries to turn and face me, I'm going to keep over here and keep hitting from over here, okay? Because the worst he can do from over there is he can try and reach across and get me, okay? But I guarantee you it will be much worse if I'm here and his hand comes out and he goes like that. Then he's got me, hasn't he? But. So be situationally aware. The guy's here, like, come on, fuck are you doing? Come on. I want to be over here. Okay? While I'm negotiating the situation before we fight, I want to be over there. He's here, he's got something in his hand, he's swearing and going on. I'm like, dude, come on, mate, what's your problem? Over here. Okay? I'm not going to be here. Oh, what's your problem, mate? Ugh. And I'm dead. Okay? Stab. No. I'm going to be over here. Like, dude, fuck, what's going on? If he keeps turning to me with this, there'll come a time when I'm going to have to make a decision. Okay? So here it is. Got my little friend here. If he's here messing about with his baseline all the time, at some point, there's a decision to be made. Do I reckon I can outrun this bloke? If I can, it's a good time to fuck off. Okay? If I don't think I can, and it's obvious he's going to do it, because he's like, come on then, fucking come on then, and he's here, look where Bob is. Bob's done. Yeah? But if he'd had some sense, and he was over here, then I'm like, come on then, I'm trying to reach past his arm, which is obviously going to be trying to block as he's doing it, to try and get something. Okay? But if he's in front of me, and if he's even worse, he's here, yeah, he's done. Okay? So again, we're not doing life today, but it's an awareness thing. If he's bigger than you, don't wrestle with him. Get inside to hit him as hard as you can, as many times as you can, and then get away. If he's smaller than you, don't waste time trying to wrestle with him. Hit him from the outside, kick him from the outside if you can. If he's messing about in his pocket a lot, don't take the chance. Well, I don't reckon this guy has got a knife. Do you want to be wrong? You know, are you confident that he hasn't got a knife, or are you just guessing? Who knows? Okay? Stay on the side of the hand that hasn't got the knife. If he keeps turning that side towards you, you then have an option, don't you? You have the option of, do I get out? Shall I just say, fuck it, forget my ego, apologize and just run off? Or is he going to try and follow me? Is he going to get me? Is he definitely going to try and pull out whatever's in his pocket? In which case, you just have to go in first, don't you? And that's the whole point of the lightning stuff. It's not, I'm having a row with someone in a parking lot. You looked at my girlfriend, right? Lightning, lightning, lightning. You know, that's not what it's about. It's about, I've said to the guy, leave me alone. I've said to the guy, dude, enough. You know, you're coming in close, it's going to be a problem. And he's come back, and I'm like, okay, now I have to do something. In this scenario, it's even worse because he's come and he's doing all of this. Well, if he's doing that and he's doing it, you've got to make a decision. There's one or the other. It's a switch. You know, there's no shades of grey in this. You have to go away. You have to fight. You can't start. And this is what I was saying earlier. You can't start and then change your mind. Okay? So you can't smash the guy in the face. And he's like, fuck you, you can't, I'm going to kill you. And then you're like, oh, mate, I didn't mean it. Oh, my God, sorry. It was just an instinct. Sorry, I didn't mean. Because then he's going to stab you. Absolutely, no doubt. Okay? You've hit him in the face. You've pissed him off. He's feeling very dominant with his knife in his pocket. You've humiliated him by hitting him. He's going to try and take back the power by hurting you. Okay? And even if he hasn't got a knife, you hit someone, you've got to get on with it. Okay? You can't hit someone and be like, I didn't mean it really, or, you know, how'd you like that? Okay, he's definitely going to attack you. Okay, it's not an option at that point. You just go for it. Okay, and I know this is normally a knife lesson. That wasn't the point of this, but the situational awareness is really important. It's more important than anything else. If I was to order it in importance, I'd say be aware of what the hell's going on. You know, whether this is just some arsehole who just wants to shout at you because his mate's watching from across the road. Is his mate across the road? Who is that weird guy who's watching what's going on? Is he going to come and kick your head in if you get him on the ground? Be aware of the situation. So situational awareness, blocking. The last one is hitting, okay? Hit them hard, great. But the last one is the quality of your hitting, okay? Quantity of hitting is more important than quality. Hit them not great 5 times rather than trying to get that one perfect knockout shot, which you'll probably miss anyway, and then you haven't done anything else, okay? But the awareness is really important. You know, if someone starts blading off like this, and their hand goes to their back, be aware that that hand is probably doing something. Now, it could be one of two things. If someone's going like this, they're either going to punch you or they're going to reach for something. So then you've got to be aware of their hand, okay? Don't get caught up in their face, because what happens when people are fighting is, yeah, fuck you, mate. Oh, fuck you. And all you're doing is you're looking at my eyes like, you know, and you're getting into it and you're getting aggressive too. And you're shouting back at me. And it's like our heads are together like two footballers pushing their heads together like goats. You can't do that when you're in an actual fight, because you don't know what my hands are doing. If you're looking here, if we're having a row and we're here, have I got my knife out or not? How the hell would you know? Oh, look, it's there. You're dead. It's too late. Yeah. Be aware. And this is what defense is about. This is the whole point of being in a fence position rather than being in a boxing position. Because in a boxing position, you can still get this close, and then the guy's hand disappears for a second, and then the knife comes out. It's not good enough. Okay.
Can we do that when the class resumes again? Can we do just like a lesson of where we like role play, just practicing not looking at the eyes and like just reading the body, like with a bit of like emotion?
Yeah, definitely. Be really cool. I don't know if you've been around. You've probably been around for at least one of them, but we've done a couple of these self-defense seminars. But yeah, definitely want to get back into it when we do it. I think we'll end up doing maybe one every. We'll try and get in one a month. That's specifically on this, because it's the fighting's the fun part. The fighting is the bang bang and all of these and these fancy techniques, and it's great. But the reality is that, you know, you can only fight with someone if you survive the initial 5 seconds of someone attacking you. You know, if you are sitting there and you don't even know it's a fight, and then all of a sudden someone pulls out a ballpoint pen and they're stabbing you in the face with it, all of the blocks and head movement in the world is not going to help you, because it's too late. And the number of nutters that you get these, I mean, I was literally reading a report today about a woman who thought that someone had brushed against her child's head accidentally in the supermarket. So she went outside the supermarket and pushed her into a bus, because thankfully the bus had come quickly, so she didn't go in front of it like the woman wanted. She hit the side of the bus, but that was because she said, "You touched my child's head as you walked past." A woman with a child in a pram tried to kill someone they've never met because of that, you know. And it's like, it's not the old days, you know, where all the villains wore their mustaches, or all skinheads with sort of a swastika tattooed on their forehead. You just don't know whether that weird guy who's staring at you actually thinks you're Satan or whatever it is going on in their mind, or whether or not they are just a drunk and they're staring at you because they actually think you're their dad or something. Who knows? But you just don't know anyone. I'm not trying to scaremonger, you know, because that is a very combative tactics. Everyone's trying to kill you, join my class, you know, and then you won't let them. It's not that. It's just like, let's be real, you know. If you ever get in a fight in a parking lot, if you ever get in a fight anyway, you guys are not the type that are going out looking for it. So if you ever get in a fight, it will be someone coming up to you to start a fight, and it certainly won't be, okay, you ready? Right, let's get on with it. It will be smash, smash, smash. 30 seconds later, it's all over and everyone's wondering what the fuck's going on. So honing your flinch reflex, because everyone's normal flinch reflex is this: hands forward, head away. And that's a very human thing, because, you know, if that was say an explosion, a fire, you put your hands to keep it away from your face and your vital organs, and you push your face away. But in fighting, that's the opposite of what you want to do, because your hands are now away from your face, so they're not stopping the punching coming over the top, and your head's back here. So even if you stop the first one, the second one knocks you down and you're in a bad posture. So unfortunately, with actual fighting, your instincts are your worst enemy. Like your instinct just to, and you'll see it when you're doing your own sparring, actually. How many times have you seen in sparring people doing this, trying to hit someone whilst their head's moving in the opposite direction? And that's because even if I said to you guys, free jab sparring, you can jab spar, full force, full contact, just hit each other, but only jabs, you'd all be over here doing this, because you want to keep your head as far away from the opponent as possible, and you're trying to reach out and hit them. But it doesn't work. It's just you can't. You know, if your head's moving away, even if I do hit you, there's no force, because all my body weight's moving this way, and I'm just using my little tricep to do that. what you would be much better off is covering your head and just going straight in and finishing it by going full force there. And that's basically the basis of self-defense. Unless you are here and you know that they cannot reach you, then doing this is a great way to get knocked out. So you've got two choices. You can, here is pointless. I'm square on, your arms are as long as my arms. Here, you can punch me here, 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 wherever. Or you can just kick me in the nuts, okay? You've got to be here. So you are full on at the limit of your own arm length, your shoulders in front if they throw anything straight or over the top, and the other hand is here to clear up. So that's our fence, full on as far away as you can be. And even with a little lean's even better, because then you're easier to go under. Or you're here, right in on them, on their chest, so they can't hit you. And that's this. And obviously, if you can get in an elbow at the same time, so you're hitting them while they're trying to hit you, that's great. But those are the reactions we need to cultivate. This halfway house of, I'm not really gaining any extra length away, but I'm just going to put my hands up and lean backwards, which is your natural response. If I was standing in front of you today and I pulled out a banger and went like that in your face and blew up a banger, everyone's going to be like that. Ugh. Head back, arms out. The problem with that, of course, is this is not a great position to stop a punch. If you throw one down the pipe now, my chin's out for you to hit and I can't go back any, so I'm absorbing the full force of that in my neck and I'm off. That's the last thing you want to do. Fortunately, having done this long enough, normally when things explode now, it's actually quite amusing. Deb's dropped a cup yesterday and I was like that. And she was like, what are you doing? And I was like, but it's become a response. So if there's an explosion now, I tend to be like that in the direction of the explosion. And then I'm like, okay, well, safety first. Now let's find out what's going on. Okay, rather than, I wonder what that was. It's like in a horror film, you know, how many people are like, I wonder what is down in the cellar. Oh, there's no lights down there. Do you know what? I'm gonna have a look. It's like, fuck the cellar, lock the cellar door, and move house. And then ask the new tenants to check what was in the cellar. That's what you should do, okay? Believe me, most horror movies.
I think we should have a class where we all go out on a piss, come back 4 o'clock at night, and then try and do it.
Well,
drunken reflexes.
But do you know, joking aside, but there is an element of truth in this, and this is what I was saying to you before.
Yeah.
So many things are going to affect your ability to do simple movements like a slip, you know. So if I started the class, we're like doing slip, right, bang, slip, blah, blah, slip, great. If I put you guys through 2 hours on the battle ropes and then said to you, okay, guys, now we're doing a slip class, even though mentally you're still there, you'd be like, ugh. And it would be absolutely useless. And then bring in someone fresh to just throw punches at you and you'd be getting lit up all over the place. Are you going to get in a fight when you're...
Try doing a few shots in one class. Let's see if we can do this.
Well, I mean, alcohol, but this is the point. Alcohol is one way of losing your edge, but it's only one way. Work is another way. How many times have you come home from work feeling exhausted? You know, you're fucking knackered, your mind's away, you've done too many hours, you're sitting there, your eyes are aching from the screen. You are not in fighting fit condition in that, you know. Coming back from a gym, you've just done leg day at the gym, you're crawling home, and then some prick wants to beat you up because you've walked over their shadow or whatever, you know, justifies some idiot trying to beat you up. Like, and you've literally, like, you've been doing your personal record on your legs and you could barely even bend them, and then someone wants a fight, you know. You don't get to choose, unfortunately, when you get attacked. And this is the biggest problem. Like, when I'm coming back from work, you know, phone in hand, sitting there like on the bus, am I ready for someone to walk and punch me in the face? Of course not. I'm not even going to notice them. You know, I'm genuinely not going to see them. It actually happened to my brother on the bus. This guy was having a row with a bus driver, and my brother was there on his mobile phone just there, and he heard a noise. He went like that, and the guy punched him straight in the face and jumped off the bus. No provocation, no notice. Literally, my brother was there. He was reading some nonsense on his phone. Maybe, for all I know, maybe he read a funny article and he laughed and the guy thought he was laughing at him. I don't know. But he was there. He said he was looking at something on his phone. He heard a noise, he looked up, and the next thing you know, he just felt this pain in his face. He went like that, and he went like that. His nose was bleeding. He looked up, and this guy was jumping off the bus saying, "Wow, fuck all of you, da da da." And he was just like, "What the fuck?" But again, you know, he wasn't ready for it. I mean, he doesn't do martial arts anyway, but even if he was a third dan black belt, you're only ready when you're ready. You're ready when you know there's a problem. You know, if you're sitting on a tube, I mean, how many times have I fallen asleep on the tube home? Hundreds. You know, was I ready to fight because I've got a black belt? Well, no, because I wasn't conscious, you know. So the reality of the situation is like, yeah, drunk, you know, but you can emulate that in a number of ways. I mean, what we could do is just randomly put you in a situation where, you know, you have to stand there with your eyes closed, and then we say, go. And you open your eyes and you're in it. You know, you've got.
I think it'd be better just to come in drunk.
Well,
I think that'd be more.
When I was at uni, I went from the bar to, I was doing Kung Fu at the time. And let's just say I've only ever done it once. It was terrible. It was so bad. It was not a good class.
But it is, and this is the thing. But I mean, what we can do, we can practice this when we get back into it properly. Is and we did this one to Bushin ages and ages and ages ago, probably even before your time, Des. We just literally had a situation where, you know, there's a pre-decided scenario between two people, and you know, someone walked into the room with a helmet on, and we said to them, "Oh, go stand in the center of the room, close your eyes." They closed their eyes. And we said, "All right, go." And they just like opened their eyes, and all of a sudden, someone just grabbed them and started punching them. It's just like, and what happened? You know, well, you know, test results were most people just went, and then like 3 seconds later started fighting back. You know, because they didn't know we didn't say to them this was going to happen. We just said, okay, well, we're just going to do like we're going to do a reality scenario. Go out of the room. You know, we just said to the, you know, okay, so what we're going to do is, you're going to be just standing there in front of him saying, "Oh, hi," and then I'm going to just run up behind him and punch him. And that's what we did. So he didn't know what was going to happen. They just opened their eyes. The guy was like, "Oh, you know, mate, how are you?" Bang, 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 bang. You know, not hard, but just enough to like that on the back of them. And they just froze. You know, there was all of them froze, I think, apart from two. Isaac, and I can't remember, there was another guy who was doing quite well. I can't remember his name now. But literally, all of them just froze. You know, they were like, "Oh, what the fuck?" You know, you didn't say that this was going to happen. It's like, no, because that's not what happens. You don't get invited to an attack. You know, you get attacked. And it was really telling. And everyone went away, and it was quite funny because like they filmed it, and everyone went away. And at the end of the class, everyone was really quiet, and they were all like, "Oh no, I did really shit. I did really shit." And then they just played back the film, and they saw the same thing happen to everyone. You know, 2 people didn't freeze. You know, whatever their grade, 2 people didn't freeze. The rest of them, they're like, "Oh," but, you know, some of them were like here, some of them were just. One of the worst one actually was they just stood there with their hands down, like getting hit in the head, like. And you know, they were like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" It's just like. They're literally just asking me why I was hitting them. And I felt really bad, actually. I felt like shit about it, but it was just like, we weren't hitting them hard. It was just like bang, bang, bang. Like, why are you hitting me? What the fuck's going on? You know, and it's like, but that's real, isn't it? You know, you're walking down the street at night, someone comes up to you and says, "Oh, Dean, yeah, or dude, like, you know, mate, you got the time?" And you're like, "Oh, no, mate." So bang, 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 bang from the back. You would be like, what's happening? But you know, it was a miserable failure in their eyes until they saw it, and they're like, "Right, now what we want you to do." This isn't like a class in defeat. This isn't like we're teaching you all humility because you're all shit. You know, it wasn't that at all. The point of it was, now go home and think about it. What would you do if this happened again? Because this is what's likely to happen if it does happen in real life. So then, next class we spoke about it a bit, and they're like, "Oh, do you know what? Yeah. Like, I did think the other guy was a bit close. And like, as soon as the guy hit me, what I probably should have done is just turn around to see what the problem was or try to get away." Yeah. So now they've examined the scenario. If we'd done it again sort of 6 months later, maybe they'd do better. Maybe out of the 15 people, 4 of them wouldn't freeze this time, rather than, and then if we'd done it again 6 months after that, maybe 8 of them wouldn't freeze. But the point is, you've got to build it, because it's so different. You know, it's so different. Me saying to you guys, all right, Dean, you and Des, like, spar, put on the gear or don't put on the gear, go light, go hard. You are physically and psychologically prepared for that event. You know, it's not a surprise. You know, it would literally be the equivalent of me saying to you guys, all right, go and warm up. Okay, do those kicks. Go and get some water. Oh, by the way, are you like, what are you doing? Why? But, you know, what is that guy who's standing behind you watching your nice watch, or watching you with the new S20 Samsung Galaxy phone thinking? He's thinking, fuck that guy, he's got something I haven't got, I'm going to go and take it. He's not going to tell you about it until he's hit you, you know? So it's the same, you know. And no, I'm not proposing that when we get back into class, I start randomly attacking you all. But the point is, that would be a close proximity, a closer approximation of what really happens than me saying to you all, okay, guys, we're doing combatives today, so I want you all to get into fence stance and then attack each other, because I've already sort of poisoned the water. You know, I've already made it unrealistic, because I've told you it's going to happen. It would be a much better approximation if I said to you all, okay, guys, we're going to do some warm up, and then I just introduced some random person in who just ran around and started punching you all. But again, it's not going to be a very popular class. So, you know, we'll work out some in between, yeah, where you go, you know, it's going to be a self-defense class, but we don't tell you what's going to happen, and then we allow you to react to it. I think is the answer to that.
Like, that'll be fun.
Yeah, it is. It's actually quite an enjoyable class, but not at the time, because at the time you feel like you failed. I wrote a paper, as if I'm like a fucking historian of martial arts. I wrote an article once for the Old Bushin website, which was, you know, what is popular doesn't work, and what doesn't work is popular. Because the reality of the situation is, the things that people like doing, sparring, you know, trapping, all of that, it works in very small increments, but they like doing it all the time. You know, so people who like doing that type of stuff, pushing hands, Tai Chi, it doesn't work. You know, it's not going to stop you getting beaten up, is what I'm saying. It works for what it works for, but it doesn't work for today. You know, so if you go outside and someone starts catcalling your girlfriend, or, you know, Malika, if some guy starts pouring you, then you're not going to get out of it by trapping and sort of pushing hands. It's the hard bang, 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 get the fuck out of there. That's what will actually save you. But it's horrible to train. No one enjoys training it. And if you have a class of 20 and you've done that for a month-long period, you would end up with a class of 7, because people hate it. They feel like they failed for most of the lessons, and by the time they've actually got it, you only got the hardcore of people who actually want to do it. You know, the rest of them that are like, I just like martial arts, are not going to want to be randomly attacked by some guy they don't know in class, span around 3 times and then thrown on the floor, and then someone punching them in the guard, and they're like, oh my god, what the fuck's happening? It's horrible, it's unpleasant. But those people, the ones that learn it like that, and I've done some of that myself because I had to put myself through it, at sort of the urban combative stuff, that's where you learn it. That's where I learned a lot of what I've learned, as well as pushing, because you've got to be put in that position. You've got to have someone just chuck you on the floor and start trying to boot you like quarter strength, so that you know what it's like being thrown on the floor and someone's trying to boot you. You'll never get that from scenario training, where someone's like, okay, lie down and Clarence, come and gently go and try and stop you. You know, it's like, it's never going to be like that. You've got to be put in that position, unfortunately. But it's horrible, it's not fun, and you don't enjoy it. You learn it if you have to learn it, which I had to learn it because, you know, I do martial arts and I teach martial arts, but you would never volunteer for it necessarily. So working that back into a scenario where we can enjoy our lessons and learn useful stuff is really is really difficult, but that's what I'm intending to do. There's millions of women's self-defense classes out there, for example, where they teach poke the eyes, kick the balls, and scratch. And you're like, whilst you are doing that, he's punching and grabbing you. But they never get to that bit, or the fact that 90% of female fights that I've seen involve people grabbing you by the hair and dragging you across the asphalt whilst punching the back of your head. I've never seen in another self-defense class them teaching the grabbed by the back of the neck, the ponytail, and dragged defense. The reason is, if you've done a self-defense class for women where you started grabbing them by the ponytail, you would lose all of your students by the second lesson, because women do not like having their hair dragged, especially if they spent £90 on it the day before, getting it into position, and you end up accidentally tearing 4 or 5 strands out every time you practice, and you're doing that 15 times each. You're not going to have happy customers, because it's horrible. It's fucking horrible. Like, thankfully for a lot of us, we don't have to worry about it. But if my hair was down here and it was basically a walking handle, I would not want some bastard swinging it round like there was sort of some jealous Samson wannabe. It's not nice. It's a horrible thing. But that's what's likely to happen to you if you are a woman and you are being attacked by another woman. Almost every woman-on-woman fight I have ever seen has ended up with 2 hands of hair. And it's either one of 2 things. If they don't know how to fight, what will happen is there'll be 2 hands of hair, and the other one will have 2 hands of hair, and they're just locked in this weird struggle where they're both pulling each other's hair at the same time. And if one of them, unfortunately for you, does know how to fight, they will grab you, they'll pull your head down towards the floor, and then they're punching the back of the head. Then you are legitimately screwed, because you're getting hit in the back of the head, which is going to make you dizzy. They have got what is effectively a big handhold, like you get on a pad, on the top of your head, so you are not getting your head back, and you're a bit fucked, really. We do actually have in the syllabus, especially the new syllabus, there's a specific technique just for that, to get out of it, because people think you have to pull your head away, and that's the last thing you do. Because if you try and pull, all you're doing is you're adding extra pressure on. You've got to go towards the person and hit. You've got to go into because if someone grabs your hair and pulls you this way, you have to go towards them and hit them. There's no point pulling away, because you get away and they'll pull you back. You get away, they're going to pull you back, and your hair is not going to release from your head. So they will have a handhold and you've got nothing. So there is in the new syllabus, but actually in the old syllabus, I added it in anyway, even though it wasn't on the syllabus. But there was, back when Anna was there. Do you remember Anna, the blonde girl who came for a while? I can't remember where she was. She was, in any case, she was around the same time as TG actually was around. But in any case, she was doing it with Lucy. I was getting her to do it every.
Oh, the Ukrainian.
That's the one. Yeah, and her and Lucy were doing it. In fact, I think it's actually one of them is actually on the club website, where Lucy's doing the elbow. That was actually part of that, where Anna grabs Lucy's hair and pulls her towards, and Lucy grabs the hand that's grabbing them and throws the elbow into your face while her head comes forward. Because you've got to control the hand that's grabbing your hair. Obviously, you can't let someone swing you around by the head. You've got to grab them by the wrist to control what's happening and lock your elbow down, and then you hit them with the other hand until they let go. But you can't let them have free reign. You couldn't fight them when your head's here, because you can't fight like this. You've got to get them by the arm, put your head back up, and then you can see to fight. But it's actually in the new syllabus anyway, and it was being practiced in the old syllabus as well. So it's just one of these things. I know we've run over time, and it's a bit of a tangent, but I mean, long story short, really, we're going to do more self-defense stuff in class when we can get back. And for you, Des, we need to go through all your blue belt, which is considerably expanded now that I've expanded the syllabus, but it should now take into account a lot of your ground scenarios. So not just, try and get up, but lots of things. How do you get out of side control? How do you get out of the scarf hold? It should be quite all encompassing on the ground stuff, but obviously we need to get it done.